Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 21. Chapter 21. Chapter 21. On the second floor of the ruins, Shu Heng fluttered wildly. The pupils of the classmates shrank suddenly, and the eyes were full of despair. Humanity, not much left, about to perish. At this time, there are still people running around and dying. But, just when that classmate thought that Shu Heng would definitely die, the next second, he was stunned again. Seeing that the beast hugged his face and rushed straight to Shu Heng's face, when he was about to successfully entangle his brain, Shu Heng, who seemed to be frightened, stretched out a fist without warning. Bang! Under the huge force, the hugging face was sent flying by a punch, and it smashed into the wall next to it, and the body burst. The classmate was completely dumbfounded, because his consciousness was affected, and in his memory, he could only kill with a weapon, and the physical body couldn't get close at all. Ying, hero, human beings, there is hope. From despair, to excitement, to ecstasy. But, just when the classmate was about to call Shu Heng again, Shu Heng's figure had disappeared, and the beast tied in the distance was getting closer and closer. That classmate didn't have any extra time to think. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Is this an alien? Just make sure this is a dream and reduce your fear of it. Then, they are vulnerable. However, this alien is only a larva, it just broke out of its shell. Thinking of the alien who was knocked flying by himself and his body exploded, Shu Heng smiled slightly. Just now, if it was someone else, he might have been raided directly. Before Shu Heng entered the dream relic, he had undergone devilish training. After confirming that this was a dream, now he is not afraid even when facing the alien queen. Help! When Shu Heng had just squeezed his face and body, and walked out not too far, a cry for help came. Shu Heng looked at the sound. Not far in front of Shu Heng, 4 classmates fell to the ground. Less than 1 meter away from one of the classmates, an alien monster was showing its teeth and claws. Its size was as big as 2 people. Next to the alien monster, the classmate was pale and shivering. Help! Help me! Help me! I don't want to die. I'm here to help. Crack! Beside him, a classmate with a martial arts academy ID card on his waist looked pale and seemed to want to save him. However, the words are not over. When the classmate was screaming frantically, the alien monster slammed and bit the classmate's head directly. The screaming stopped abruptly. Then, alien looked up and looked at several other students. Quick, run! Seeing the alien monster turn around, the expressions of the other 3 students suddenly changed. He hurriedly struggled to get up and ran towards Shu Heng. While running, they saw Shu Heng in front of them, and they shouted, "Run, there are monsters behind, it's coming soon." After speaking, without stopping, he passed Shu Heng and continued to run forward. At the back, the alien-shaped monster chasing after him, looked at Shu Heng who was standing, opened his mouth wide, and wanted to swallow Shu Heng in one bite. And Shu Heng turned slightly sideways, dodging the bite of the alien monster. Then, the waist exerted force, towards the alien's abdomen, and punched violently. Boom! The alien monster was directly punched through. Then, with a wave of his hand, he threw the alien monster aside. The 3 classmates who hadn't run far, turned around and saw Shu Heng standing and the alien corpse at Shu Heng's feet, and were stunned for a moment. Immediately, the look on his face turned into shock. Fuck, is the monster dead? Is it so fierce? Who is this guy? A little familiar, I seem to have dreamed of him before. Damn, humanity might really be done. Pull that guy into our team. Classmates, wait! Ignoring the shocked eyes and shouts of the 3 behind him, Shu Heng turned and left. At this moment, he just wanted to quickly enter the second layer of dreams. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. After going around for a long time, Shu Heng finally walked out of the ruins and entered the city. According to the memory of the previous inception space and the pictures given by the teacher in the previous class, he found the location of the dream builder. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Are you sure you want to enter the second layer of dreams? The second layer is much more dangerous than this one. Dream builder Yaojishi looked at Shu Heng who came and asked. I'm sure. Shu Heng replied affirmatively. Opposite him, the dream builder Yaojishi smiled slightly. Didn't ask too much. I don't know what the dream builder touched. Shu Heng only felt that his eyes were getting darker and darker. Sudden, bright eyes. When he regained his sight, Shu Heng found that he was standing on a rooftop, which was completely different from when he entered the first floor. The surrounding wind blew coldly on his face, feeling cold to the touch. In the sky, it was still raining lightly, falling on the ground with a ticking sound. Roar. On the ground, there are alien monsters running, knocking down a wall and making a bang. Reality. So real. At this moment, countless memories rushed towards Shu Heng's mind. The city has long been engulfed by beasts. Only a very small number of humans are still lingering. It's useless. Humans like ants can only see such a glimmer of hope in a dream. Go on sleeping. Or, being eaten by fierce beasts is the real relief. As the memory flushes, looking at the beasts on the ground, Shu Heng's eyes began to fill with bloodshots, and an inexplicable anger continued to impact from the bottom of his heart. Kill them. Kill them. Dead. All dead. Parents, relatives. The country is gone. Kill them. Get revenge. Under the influence of the terrifying consciousness, Shu Heng at the moment, although there is still a little doubt about the world, but anger dominates. After finishing speaking, he no longer hesitates, he is about to start fighting. So, he jumped to the ground, and rushed towards the location of the alien monster. Boom boom boom. Inside the ruins, Shu Heng jumped around. Every time he saw an alien monster, he would run over and fight. He will never let go of any aliens that appear within his line of sight. Killing again and again, gradually, he felt a little tired. Bloodstains began to appear on his body. I don't know how long it took to fight. On the ground of the abandoned gymnasium, Shu Heng lay tiredly on the ground. He felt that the whole person was about to fall apart, and countless wounds on his body were densely packed, covering every corner of his body. The clothes have been dyed red with blood. On the ground around Shu Heng, there were also the corpses of alien monsters of various shapes. Some had missing limbs, some had their heads missing, some had their stomachs ripped open, and some were directly split in half. It is estimated that there are hundreds of them, covering the entire gymnasium. Could it be that this is all it takes to die here? Really, I'm not reconciled. Humans, it's over. It would be great if the dream was real. Shu Heng was tired and wanted to close his eyes, and went directly into a state of near death. At this moment, a strange force emerged from the depths of his genes. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 22. Chapter 22. Chapter 22. Encounter with Shang Fang. This is the dream. Don't be fooled. Humanity has never perished. These beasts are just products of dreams. In the dying state, with the appearance of the mysterious power, Shu Heng's original consciousness affected by the ruins quickly recovered. Before, he had only a trace of doubts about this world. However, at this moment, the doubts are getting stronger and stronger. Laugh. Falling to the ground, Shu Heng, who was about to die, suddenly opened his eyes, the totem top appeared in his hand, and he used his last strength to turn it. Whoa, the top seems to have been exerted by magic, and it spins faster and faster. In reality, no matter how hard you twist the top, it will gradually stop over time. However, in the dream state, there is no restriction of the laws of physics, the top will never stop and will keep spinning. This is the dream. I'm not injured. I'm fine as ever. As long as the will is strong enough, the dream can be changed. At this moment, the power in Shu Heng's body recovered at an incredible speed, and the bloody wound on his body healed instantly. At the same time, as his body was injured, his consciousness that was originally affected by the ruins also became completely clear. It's incredible. This is the second layer. The impact is so great. Reality. Without a strong will, I can't bear it at all. That's it for the second floor. What about the third floor, the fourth floor, and even the fifth floor? Just when Shu Heng was thinking about it, I just felt something strange in my body. What? Then, he couldn't help but let out a loud roar. That strangeness instantly turned into an explosive force, filling his whole body. Just now, his body had completely recovered, but at this moment, he only felt that the strength of his body had become stronger than before. The ruins of Inception, infinitely close to reality. Saiyan recovers from a near-death state, and his strength can be greatly enhanced. It is also effective. This ruin, for me, it's definitely the best testing ground. Shu Heng sat up slowly, his face full of excitement, and he sighed comfortably. Then, he started to move his body. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. The totem top can make Shu Heng realize clearly that all this is just a dream. This is a key factor in his recovery from injury. In addition, Saiyan's terrifying bloodline potential is also the key to the key. Normal people are injured and dying, and their consciousness will gradually dissipate and become weak, but Saiyan is different. In this state, they will become more clear. The most important thing is that each time he recovers from a serious injury, he bursts out with more power than ever before. The two are superimposed on each other, which is an invincible cheating device. It's fake, it's all fake. However, the battle experience is real. It will never be forgotten. Although the battle is in a dream, it will still be remembered. Feeling the power of the body skyrocketing, Shu Heng snorted lightly. Attribute panel, open. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. Name: Shu Heng. Constitution: 3340. Spirit: 6300. Strength: 2331. Agility: 3621. Bloodline: Son Goku, Super Saiyan. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Looking at the 4-digit attribute value on the attribute panel, Shu Heng was excited. All attributes have increased by more than 5 times. The growth of mental power is as high as 10 times. This is just the recovery effect after the first near-death experience after entering the dream state. Not bad. Now, it's time to go to the 3rd floor. After this recovery, he felt that the mental pressure on the 2nd floor had almost disappeared. After confirming that the beasts around were the product of dreams, they were nothing to be afraid of. So, Shu Heng got up and started looking for the entrance to the 3rd floor according to the information in his memory. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. At this moment, Shu Heng's figure, like Spider-Man, is constantly jumping between the major buildings in the city. Boom! The sound of the feet landing sounded, and the dust splashed all over the place. Shu Heng jumped on the top floor of a hotel. According to the memory in my mind, the location of the Dream Builder on the 2nd floor is a closed hotel. Before that, he had already found many hotels. However, none of them was the hotel where the Dream Builder was. Alas, it seems this is still not. Shu Heng's spirit swept the hotel, but did not find the Dream Builder's breath. So he decided to keep looking. What? Just as Shu Heng was about to leave, a surprise sounded behind him. He turned around and saw a man and a woman, 2 familiar figures. The 2 people in the martial arts department. The man is still an acquaintance, Shang Fang. Hello, my name is Shu Xiaojia. Next to Shang Fang, the little girl saw that the person coming was actually Shu Heng. She was a little surprised, very experienced, but she quickly regained her composure. She stepped forward and waved to Shu Heng. What are you doing to him? Seeing Shu Xiaojia, who actually stepped forward to greet Shu Heng, Shang Fang stopped her. Then turned around, facing Shu Heng, and said, Yo, isn't this the #1 scholar in liberal arts? Your teacher gave you a cheating device, right? You dare to come in on the 2nd floor. Are you really afraid that you will become mentally retarded after going out? No, for you, this must be the real world. Humans are so miserable. You may die soon. Tisk tisk. Your injury won't last long, right? If you ask me for help, I can consider taking action. Shu Heng appeared on the 2nd floor, which made Shang Fang also have some surprises, but this did not prevent this guy from being a bitch. In his opinion, Shu Heng was covered in blood at the moment, and his injuries must be very serious. In addition, it was difficult for me to get rid of the influence of the ruins, and I was sure that this place was a dream. Shu Heng is definitely still in the midst of sinking. However, when Shu Heng heard these words, he was stunned for a moment. He saw the blood all over his body, and then he understood. Although his injuries have recovered, his clothes are tattered. He didn't have time to get rid of the blood all over his body, and he looked extremely embarrassed. Hello, my name is Shang Fang. He waved at the little girl next to Shang Fang, ignored Shang Fang, and turned around to leave. Roar. Just then, there was a sudden roar. An alien monster jumped over. Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 23. Chapter 23. Chapter 23. Eliminate Shang Fang. A huge alien monster landed on the rooftop of the hotel. Xu Heng swept his gaze, and the alien data in his memory began to pour into his mind. This type of alien, called warrior alien, has a relatively high degree of evolution. The lethality is second only to the alien queen. The champion of liberal arts, are you afraid? Oh, I forgot that you have lost your memory. The only achievement of the champion of liberal arts, I guess you have forgotten it. In his opinion, Shang Fang is sober. And Xu Heng is just a walking dead with amnesia. It's better if you lose your memory, haha, you are a waste. In this world, you must be even more waste and more desperate. Beside him, Shang Fang's voice came again. Xu Heng just thought it was a little funny. This guy, in order to mock him, had already started using these childish personal attacks. Even a little neurotic. As long as my lord has a lot, I'll save you once this time. There's no way, I'm just so kind, I'm optimistic. What is the gap between genius and waste? Seeing Shang Fang walking towards the alien monster, Xu Heng didn't bother to do anything. He has no idea how many alien monsters of this level he has killed. Before, he killed this alien monster with a little training effect. But now, it can be said that there is no effect at all. It's just a waste of effort. Since Shang Fang took the initiative to ask for credit, he was too lazy to stop it. Besides, he is also very curious. The blood of the famous Master Roshi, in this world, how much strength can he exert? Roar. The alien monster in front, seeing Shang Fang taking the initiative to provocate, roared and rushed towards him. Shang Fang turned around and kicked the alien monster's mouth. However, the monster was unmoved. However, Shang Fang was really taken a few steps back by the rebound of that kick. Obviously, his strength is not enough to cause any damage to the alien monster at all. Xiaojia, help me, seeing that the blow was ineffective, and instead knocked back his kick a bit. He turned around and shouted to the little girl behind him. Immediately afterwards, a blue light emanated from the little girl's hand and enveloped Shang Fang. Power, add, speed, plus. 2 soft drinks came from the little girl's mouth. Xu Heng, who was watching the game, was very curious when he saw the blue light. This kind of means that can give people a direct increase is not owned by Immortal Kalen. As the inheritor of Immortal Kalen, the little girl belongs to a relatively rare auxiliary-oriented ability user. She may have studied for a few days in the martial arts academy and mastered some auxiliary skills. As for Karen Immortal's ability, Xu Heng is very clear. Fairy beans. That's the key. A single fairy bean can make a seriously injured person recover as before. I just don't know if it is possible to create such auxiliary wonders in this world. Even if there is, it is estimated that there will be a small price to pay. And he still remembered that Son Goku's somersault cloud was obtained from Karen Immortal, and he didn't know whether she inherited this ability. Dead monster, watch me not tear your mouth apart. In the front, Shang Fang, who got the attribute bonus, has a slight increase in his momentum. But instead of fighting head-on, he started dodging constantly around the alien monster. At the same time, his hands were folded around his right waist, and a round ball of light shone between them. Kamehameha. He is accumulating energy and wants to kill this alien monster with turtle qigong. Xu Heng, who was watching from the sidelines, was very curious when he saw the standard Kamehameha posture. The well-known move in Dragon Ball, Kamehameha, in this world, how much power can be released? In the battlefield, Shang Fang kept dodging, and at the same time, the light balls in his hands were getting bigger and stronger, and the energy was getting stronger and stronger. After dozens of minutes of accumulating power, boom! Another brief collision, the two sides separated. Afterwards, Shang Fang shouted loudly. The hands folded on the right waist were pushed forward sharply. Turtle, Pai, Chi, Dong. Immediately afterwards, a ball of light suddenly shot forward. After hitting the alien monster, a dazzling light erupted. In the back, Seeing the ball of light from Shang Fang's hand, he was stunned and felt very surprised. This is turtle qigong. This is a ball of it. Xu Heng not believe in his impression. Kamehameha usually huge beam of light, the power of peerless. But this is still the peak of Kamehameha, not even light cannot be considered, it is a ball of light. This force can pull hip bar. Kamehameha did not fully play out of power. If Master Roshi here, it is estimated to take him out the door division a while. In front of the battlefield, watching the alien monster after being beaten could not move seriously injured himself, still proud peaks looked Xu Heng. How, arts champion, but I just used the famous Kamehameha, which was the Wu Daozong division Master Roshi's famous trick. Unfortunately, now you do not know this estimate and other legendary trick. Shang Fang has been talking to himself. Xu Heng looked shocked the peak still think he was shaken by its strong capabilities, could not help but meaning. Listening to his proud words, Xu Heng shook his head, feeling ridiculous. But for that mouth of his nature is so cheap, Xu Heng doubt it still is not got a peak of what mental illness. And, this guy, since all know this is a dream, surprisingly, did not realize that, in the dream, it is in control here. Kill an evil beasts, turned out to be too much trouble. It is purely a fool. Touches Shu Shaojia, this type of aid is very rare, but still with the next peak, too wasteful. Xu Heng shook his head, no longer ignore, he will have to find the entrance of the third layer of it. Ellipsis 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 dot. See Xu Heng turned to leave, just as he went to the roof edge, ready to jump when the go. Suddenly, behind him came the break Feng Zisheng. Then, still peak cynical voice came again, as if to remind. Oh, be careful. Xu Heng turned around, a bloody mouth moving yourself to bite, it just was seriously injured shaped monster. Well, dare to plot against me. You in court death. Xu Heng turned abruptly left leg severely toss of a sudden outbreak of a terrible force. In a blink, alien monster only, since when 10 times the speed, is a good kickback at the peak still located. Xu Heng had to bite the mouth, bite the shoulder peak yet. Xu Heng eyes quench, in his perception, just only shaped monster, the peak is still moving the hands and feet. Just now, yet seemingly random peaks kicked bird monster, puts shaped kicked myself in this direction. Through the power of this unit to help, this is no completely dead through the profile toward their attack come. He perceived, he Qijong large, those little tricks peak yet completely concealed from him. Although he did not want to bother peak yet, but since the peak still has the initiative to challenge him, how he could get back to that a gift of. How can this be, Xu Heng, how you could have this power? Bidden still shaped peak, eyes stare, his face of dismay and disbelief, crazy voice trembling. Pity, that shaped, did not give extra time to reflect peak yet. Snip, snip, puff puff, too quickly, almost the blink of an eye, yet the peak body is badly mutilated, she became a pool of mud. Normal death, then the second floor, will return to the first layer, but this is after the transformation of the world, no matter what level of death, will be eliminated. Xu Heng glanced blankly, as Shu Shaojia face horror and disbelief, the situation is changing so fast, she did not react, watching becomes a mess when the peak is still, even he knew it was a dream, she covered her stomach, retching up. However, things did not end. Woo, woo, after the peak still killed, injured animal's bird began to scream. Among the mouth issued a shrill cry. Then, surrounded by broken walls began to come in constantly houses collapsed voice. Humming humming, Xu Heng turned to look. I saw a dark place of the earth, began to run out of various special shaped constant monsters. Dense, it is estimated there are hundreds. He turned to look at the alien monster bird is screaming. Suddenly realized that only profiled. It is, call companion. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 24. Chapter 24. Chapter 24. Besieged girl. Roar. Left left roar. Surrounding walls collapsed, ruins burst open. It has continually shaped monster, running from the shadows out of the unknown, issued a deafening roar. Higher up opposite the hotel, direct broadcast tower on the horizon, a curiously shaped monster figure, looking at the hotel rooftop, the same sender huge mouth and strange sounds. The original queen. At the hotel rooftop, Shu Heng constantly looking at the call of fellow strange figure, suddenly he recognized the bird alien name. The original queen, also called the alien queen. Alien monsters in leadership, several times the size of ordinary aliens. Capable of producing a large number of special-shaped eggs, constantly breeding, continue to increase, so that the number of special-shaped race fast increase. Queen appeared, they represent, in the vicinity of this hotel, hidden lair of the opposite sex. At the same time, this also means that the number of special-shaped monster nearby will reach a degree of terror. If you do not leave here, it will be surrounded more and more irregular, to say certain death. Roar. While Shu Heng watching alien queen appeared opposite the hotel, a little dazed, when the endless silence. Behind him, suddenly came roaring-shaped monster. Shu Heng turned around and saw that I do not know when, already has dozens of special-shaped monster on the roof of this hotel. At the moment, it is that the little girl named Shu Xiaojia, surrounded. Alien monster at the center of the pocket. Little girl is standing floating from the ground about 3 meters high. And figure constantly shaking, to avoid the jump, you want to bite her alien monster. It is flying technique. Looked at the little girl floating in the air, Shu Heng somewhat surprised. Royal Airline, then many people dream, but only the king can do things at the strong level. And this little girl is clearly not the king class list. It may be only one, and that is the immortal Carlin flying technique. As the immortal Carlin clergy have a unique ability, this is the flying technique. The ability for real strong, there is no far-reaching effects, because they can rely on their own strength to achieve the royal airline. However, they may be able to help those who lack power. Floating line, of course, not have to be too high, it also requires huge amounts of energy. Left roar. Suddenly, after seeing the flying technique in Shu Heng, stupidly the moment, there are a few around the shaped monster, charge together, and then suddenly jump, the air in front of the little girl rushed together in the past. Around, in all directions. A full 10 alien monster, jumped together, toward the little girl. Seal all her dodge space, no turning back. Just shaped monster from the little girl is only 3 steps away when she was about to flutter. Distant Shu Heng side encirclement straight away. Call out. Shu Heng stepping alien monster's head, rushed into the pocket, pulled the little girl's arm. Suddenly a wave, she was thrown shaped encirclement. Then kicking, leap out of those profiled monster hit fly away. Hurry up, alien queen on the side, here at shaped nest, do not take no chance. Shu Heng was thrown against the encirclement of the little girl shouted. Thrown out of the little girl slightly surprised a moment, a bit surprised. She did not expect Shu Heng will run to save him. As yet peak, she also believes Shu Heng is currently in the enchanted dreams into the end of man, in desperation, but also the same heroes. Thought of this, she could not help some moved. However, she did not turn away. Although the Protoss to assist, she was not the main battle. But that did not mean she did not have the fighting. Although the immortal Carlin does not like fighting, but equally there will be fighting moves. For example, after image boxing. Shu Heng perhaps very strong, but she did not think they would be weaker than him. And, even if not really fighting, she can also be used as auxiliary staff to provide increased strength properties for Shu Heng. What are you hesitating here? But the longer the monster lair, the time spent, the more monsters. Before long, numerous monsters over the bay, you may not have the chance to run in. You're here, I have to gauge you cannot play full strength. However, while Shu Heng in persuasion, but did not leave the little girl, still stood silent. No, the little girl a firm attitude, still did not leave. You go, can run one do. And you're gone, I can freely play strength, maybe 2 can run. You do not go, the 2 of us have to die here, thanks ah. Shu Heng's voice, indifferent to see the girl, his voice bring a touch of melancholy. That, thank you, kindness today, in the future you must also. Then she turned to leave. The little girl heard footsteps gradually leave, Shu Heng mysterious smile. Secret totem, coupled with the characteristics of the Saiyan. They shape the face of these monsters, for him, is just a piece of cake, Borrow what they hone combat skills, brush points is good. Thought of this, Shu Heng no longer hesitate to concentrate toward the alien monsters and straight away. Slaughter mode. Opened again. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Global God Choice. Only I Choose Saiyan Bloodline 25. Chapter 25. Chapter 25. Horrible Kill Count. Crack. After cutting the last alien monster by the waist, Shu Heng sat on the ground and took a breath. Not bad, the strength has increased a little bit again. Feeling the increasing power in his body, Shu Heng was very happy. He continued to kill, and his combat experience improved very quickly. Even when faced with danger, his body began to react instinctively. After speaking, he seemed to remember something. He quickly turned his head and looked in the direction the little girl left just now. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Dream ruins, inside the energy shield. 4 huge clocks stand tall, and the hands on the dial are still slowly spinning, releasing hypnotic power. All around, there were quite a lot of vacancies on the reclining chairs that were originally full of students. Obviously, there are already many students who left the ruins after waking up early. Around the reclining chairs, military staff are constantly patrolling. In addition, the sound of electronic instruments kept ringing. Ah, I'm dying. Damn monster. Suddenly, a loud cry broke the scene. On the reclining chair, a student suddenly sat up and shouted. Afterwards, the patrolling staff hurriedly gathered behind him, and various electronic instruments continuously scanned Shang Fang. Target name, Shang Fang. Mental state, nervous. Physical status, normal. Immediately afterwards, an electronic instrument was placed on top of Shang Fang's head, and strong energy poured into Shang Fang's body from the top of his head. Gradually, Shang Fang's shouting gradually weakened and finally disappeared. Watching Shang Fang wake up, the surrounding staff gradually left. Classmate, you are now awake normally, please leave the ruins immediately. An armed man held an electromagnetic ion gun and said to Shang Fang. Shang Fang turned his head and found that there were a lot of vacancies in the reclining chairs that were originally full of people, and only a few people were still sleeping. Afterwards, he recognized his classmate, who was his roommate, but he didn't last long. He saw that Xu Xiaojia, the little girl who was his partner, had not woken up yet and was still in the dream space. Sudden, he saw another familiar figure. Shu Heng. How is it possible? How could he not be eliminated? How could he persist for so long? Cheating. This is cheating. Someone cheated on this ruins expedition. Shu Heng, who was silent originally, immediately became excited when he saw Shu Heng who was still sleeping. He really couldn't believe that a bloodline like Son Goku had persisted until the last batch. Military place. No stay, please leave immediately. Just when Shang Fang was immersed in unwillingness, the voice of the armed staff around him sounded again, and this time it became very severe. It seemed that if Shang Fang continued to stay, he would shoot without hesitation. Frightened by this severe warning, Shang Fang glanced at Shu Heng on the reclining chair unwillingly. Finally turned around and left the ruins. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Outside the dream ruins, the teacher and the students lined up neatly, standing in front of a huge display screen. On the screen, the ranking of the number of beasts killed is displayed. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Dream relics killing ranking of fierce beasts. First place, 998. Second place, 324. Third place, 206. Fourth place, 112. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Moreover, the numbers on the screen are still constantly refreshing, 1001, 1002, 1008. Looking at the numbers on the display, exclamations were heard from time to time in the crowd. The last three don't add up to the first place. Which god is this? It's not a statistical error in the system. The number of kills is more than 4 digits. With so many monsters, even if I stand still and let me fight, I will be exhausted. Behind the team of teachers and students, staff wearing army green came to watch. This first place is amazing. Is it possible to recruit our troops? Absolutely good seedlings. Among the team of teachers and students, the leading teacher of the martial arts department was full of radiance at this moment. Because he felt that the first place this time, apart from Shang Fang, could not have any other candidates. See, Shang Fang from our martial arts department is so good. The number of beasts killed has exceeded 4 digits. If you persist, it is estimated that the record will be broken. The teacher in charge of the martial arts department said to the surrounding teachers and students with great excitement. As expected of a master Roshi fit, it's like a duck to water in this ruin. And that extraordinary bloodline, Shu Xiaojia, the second place should be her. It's pretty good for a girl who is assistant to be able to kill so many beasts. The martial arts department is still as strong as ever. The classmates were whispering, and many people believed that the first student this time must be from the martial arts department again. And the teacher in the logistics department, Shu Tian, was also excited. Because he found that one of their classmates in the logistics department still hadn't come out. I can't imagine being the first. However, it is very good to be able to get the top 3, or even the top 5. It is possible to refresh the record of the logistics department in the past 10 years. Good seedlings should be cultivated well. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. Where the martial arts department is located. Shang Fang is not only talented, but also works very hard. He trains for 6 hours every day, and he doesn't give himself vacations on weekends. So, everyone must learn from Shang Fang. Another day, I will ask Shang Fang to give a speech to everyone to share the learning experience. The teacher who led the team boasted about Shang Fang's advantages to everyone around him, as if he was introducing his own son. Crunch. Suddenly, the martial arts teacher was praising Shang Fang with spittle. The front door of the ruins opened, and a figure was pushed out from the door. I staggered a few steps and almost fell. Everyone looks at it, it is the peak of fashion. In an instant, the scene fell silent. The original high-spirited face of the martial arts teacher turned black in an instant, and he was stunned on the spot. Afterwards, the teacher quickly shouted in the direction of the gathered students in the martial arts department. Who else? Look, our martial arts department, who else hasn't come out?